Tailor-Made Glam was built from hustle, me just wanting to provide as a mom for her daughter. Later, after all of it, I realized that I wanted more. Getting to the bag does not bring fulfillment. It doesn't make you feel whole.
$150 stitched with a dream. That was all Jahan Liebert, CEO of Tailor-Made Glam Wig Co., had when she migrated from Jamaica 6 years ago.
Running a business is one of the hardest roles that I ever had to play in my whole entire life. Building a clientele from scratch is not easy. Hi everyone, my name is Jahan. How I got into the beauty industry is a mystery because growing up I always told myself that I would never ever go into the hair industry. My mom is a beauty entrepreneur herself. She owns salons, barbershops. She also owns restaurants as well. For me, it brought a little bit of resentment because my mom was always booked and busy, so she was never home. Even though she was present, she was never really present because when she was there, she was either tired or she was preparing for either a client or she was doing something for her business. So that kind of made me resent the beauty field because having a mom who is, handling so much business, it's only so much and so little that she can do having 4 girls. Growing up, my grandmom, she always told us that the way you present yourself is the way how people treat you. So wherever I worked, I was always well kept. My hair was always done. Always made sure my face was presentable. So if it's that I had on a little bit of lip gloss or makeup, I always carried myself a certain way. When I migrated, I had a job at a diner. While working at the diner, I met some Chinese suppliers who came to have lunch and introduced themselves to me and gave me the job on the spot to be a manager of a wholesale beauty supply that they recently just moved to the US and opened. So working there exposed me to a lot of salons, exposed me to a lot of clients, just complimenting my physique, how I carried myself, and one thing led to the next. At the time, my landlord, he was a photographer and he had a client who makeup artist canceled on her last minute, and he called me and he said, I need you for a favor, can you please do this client for me? And I went, and what I would earn in a whole week, she paid me that for just that day to do her makeup. And when that happened, I was like, maybe I need to get into this beauty business, and that's basically how it started. A lot has happened in 7 years. I started from my basement, my shared basement apartment, not really with any knowledge other than what I saw from my mom growing up. So me starting my business from my basement, I didn't have any help, I didn't have any support, I was in a new country, so it was hard. Building a clientele from scratch is not easy, especially when you don't have the experience or you're not familiar with where you are. Hair was always something that I could do. I started doing my own hair at 9, so hair was something that I naturally knew how to, even though it was not something that I thought I would do as a career. It was something that I was naturally and effortlessly good at. So me doing makeup and clients coming in wanting to get their hair touch up, or their hair is not done how they wanted it to, I would fix it, and it just became an add-on service until it became the primary service. So I started doing makeup, shifted into doing hair, and then COVID happened, and in COVID, everywhere was locked down. So there was no salons open, there was nowhere to get your hair done, but there was still need for persons, to want to get their hair done. And Tailor-Made Glam was birthed out of COVID, the need for women wanting to have their hair done but no salons being open, and I created glueless, ready-to-wear wigs that they could put on right out of the box. It was built from hustle and me just wanting to provide. It was not from a place of purpose, it was just from a place of really getting to the bag, but getting to the bag does not bring fulfillment. It doesn't make you feel whole. Running a business is one of the hardest roles that I ever had to play in my whole entire life. Even being a mom, I feel like running a business is even harder than that because it's so unpredictable. So many stuff can happen and you're the only person that's responsible. There's so many different moving pieces. There's so much information that you don't know. There is little to no community, and it's a lot of emotions. Sad nights, happy times, angry times, stressed out, burnt out. It's a lot of different feelings. So when I just started, I realized the lack for community in the beauty industry. I reached out to a lot of beauty pros who were already in the industry, but unfortunately, because I did not have the influence or the success at the time, the response weren't so encouraging, and I just opted out to building myself and making a name for myself so that I could one day create a community for beauty pros. With all the success, the 2 storefronts, servicing thousands of women, 7 figures. After reflecting, I came to realize that that was not my purpose. God showed me that everything from my past to how I got into the beauty industry, to the doors that were open, to the success, to the resources, and everything that I've been through, it was just leading up to the bigger picture. Navigating in the beauty industry without any form of real experience or having a mentor or anyone to basically guide you, it makes the journey even more harder. A lot of mistakes that I made could have been avoided if I had someone to at least show me the right way. I feel like this is the missing gap in the beauty industry, where a lot of beauty professionals, they don't know that you don't always have to be behind the chair in order for you to make an income. There's other ways to making an income outside of always being behind the chair. I know for a lot of beauty professionals, their goal is to be booked and busy, but most of the time it comes at a cost, and that cost is you not having time. Being a mom now, I see how that affects my daughter, and this is why I caught onto the cycle, and I'm trying to change that cycle, not just for myself, but for others, who is in the beauty industry. That's why I created Surkle. So I know it sounds like Surkle as in CIR, but it is actually SURKLE, a platform and community for persons in the beauty industry to be able to connect, get real resources and information to build a thriving business. I know what it's like to start alone with no guidance, no community, no resource or real information to build a successful business in the beauty industry. I firsthand built a 7-figure wig company without no help, no handout, so I know exactly how isolating it feels to build without no real help. And this is why Surkle bridges that gap. What you'll find in Surkle is real community of like-minded beauty professionals from aspiring to pros, where we share resources with real lifetime experience and also provide all the information that we wish we had when we started in the beauty industry, which is valued at $677 billion to date in 2025. And beauty professionals are at the bottom of the food chain. Most beauty professionals don't even have a seat at the table. So Surkle is here to bridge that gap in the beauty industry, to provide the right resources, the right tools, the right structure, the right systems that's needed in place to build a thriving and successful beauty empire. If you're a beauty professional and you feel lost, stuck, or feel like you just need a community where you can share your journey, Surkle is the community for you.